Stand up. No, not stand up.
What the heck? Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up? Daisy's in a hotel room, pantsless.
I have no pants on. I mean, I have like pantyhose. You have to wear pantyhose. I have two outfits. I was gonna either wear like a dress that looks very interviewy.
Yeah.
Or a skirt. I think I'm gonna go with the skirt.
Yeah.
So I have no pants. I have nothing on from the waist down because I don't want to wrinkle it. You know how that is?
Right.
I'm kind of like Robert De Niro in Goodfellas. Do you guys not Goodfellas in Casino? Remember, was it Casino that he didn't wear his pants behind his desk? Remember?
Robert De Niro had a desk?
Yeah, he had a desk in Casino when he would work at the casino, and he wouldn't wear his pants, and then he would hang his pants up in the closet, and when he was done talking to like people in his office, he'd walk over and he like put his pants back on. So
I totally don't remember that, and I love that movie.
I am Robert De Niro today.
Well, so let's just get started by talking about how amazing your skin looks.
Thank you. It's Genucel. Thank you.
You're very glowing for your interview.
Thank you. You look magnificent too, I must say.
Well, if we look decent at all, it is because of the magic of plant stem cell technology, which is what you get when you get yourself some Genucel skincare products. And they have all the things, you guys. All of them. So they have the potions and the lotions and the creams and the toners and the scrubs.
The lifting things.
That's right. With the lifting technology. They have the Fluff Better technology and the XV wrinkle cream. All of their products are so luxurious and lovely and awesome. And you need to try them. And I think that this special is going to run out soon. I'm a little worried. Like some of the copy that we've gotten lately has like implied that this is not going to last forever.
You're right. I think we'll have like a week or two left.
So I'm just saying, if you've been thinking about it and you've been kind of on the fence, should I try it? Should I try it? Now is the time, because you can still get 50% or more off of their pre-put together curated packages. And you can see those packages if you go to lovegenucel, GENUCEL.com/checks. So make sure to check them out because they are awesome.
They are. They are great.
All right, let's get some sound out of the way of the most idiotic president that may have ever existed in the entire world. He now thinks that we no longer use the word tornado.
Members of Congress know from their colleagues in Congress that, the looks like a tornado, they don't call them that anymore.
No, they don't.
That hit the crops and wetlands in the middle of the country, and Iowa and Nevada, and I mean it's just across the board.
Nevada is now the middle of the country.
What do they call tornadoes? Angry wind shows? What do they call them?
Maybe I saw a lot of people speculating on the Twitter machine that maybe they are now called tornadexes. You know how it's like Latinx? Maybe it's Tornadex instead of tornado.
Is it because they're so super scary that they don't want to be referred to as tornadoes anymore because it's mean to call them tornadoes? So they don't want to be called tornadoes anymore? Is that what it is? Tornadoes are offended by the word tornadoes. Is that what's happening?
I have no idea what is wrong with that man. No idea.
You know who's happy? You know who's happy right now? Well, I don't know. Is he still alive? Is Jimmy Carter still alive?
Barely, but yes.
He's happy because he's no longer the worst president ever.
Yeah. I mean, Biden has overtaken that by a mile.
Are there any other worst presidents? I can't think of. Who are the other worst presidents besides Jimmy Carter? Who is it? You guys say in the comments. I don't know.
I mean, there's been some not so great presidents, but they certainly stand out for our lifetime.
Obama was pretty bad.
Deborah Duffin, thank you very much. I think that what Biden was trying to refer to and just did a terrible job was the derecho or however you say that word that happened in Iowa a few years back.
It's derecho.
Derecho.
I feel like you're giving him way too much credit.
Am I? I mean, I felt like that's what he was going for, but I don't know.
I feel like you're stretching and you're giving him way too much credit. It's like
I probably am.
Yeah, because we had this whole discussion about the word derecho and what it means and how it's Spanish for right, but then it's also Spanish for straight. And Mark's like, I think that's what he meant. And I'm like, why? Why are you trying to make excuses for a guy that doesn't make any sense and that just talks gibberish? Why are you doing that?
Well, and even if he did mean that, you still do use the word tornado. I mean, so
yeah,
like he's wrong no matter what.
Exactly.
But I think that's what he may have been trying to go. I don't know. I have no idea. But he's not even just dumb about tornadoes. He's also dumb about time. Listen.
We are determined that we are going to deal with climate change and have zero emissions, net emissions by 2050. By 2020, make sure all our electricity is zero emissions. We're going to be able to do these things, but we've got to move.
Okay.
We've got to move.
Gonna go back in time.
I mean, okay. That's gonna be an interesting feat.
Right. I mean, he's gonna invent a time machine. That's awesome. So Doc's gonna come out and we're gonna do the whole Back to the Future thing. That's okay. So that's neat that we're gonna do the time machine. There's gonna be zero emissions. But this whole talk of climate change too is really interesting because they're trying to distract, obviously, from other issues that this administration is having, basically that they suck so hard and they can't do anything. So they're like, oh, the climate is going to kill all of us, right? The climate. And
he's trying to blame the climate for this big storm that, that hit New Jersey, New York. And it's like they just forget the fact that there's been other like record-breaking storms decades and decades ago, and they're acting like those just didn't happen.
Right.
And so now that it is happening, now they're like, oh my God, of course it's because of climate change. Well, what were those for then?
Yeah. You
know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's gonna stop that, and Democrats are gonna stop that by charging us, like getting more of our money.
Yes.
I've always said, stapling money to the clouds is gonna make the clouds stop weeping. Is that what the hell? These people are insane. I've never understood it, except for the fact that I do understand that they just want more of our money. That's what it is. They just want your money. That's what it is, you guys.
They just got to keep finding new ways of taking it.
Yeah, they scare you with this crap. They try to scare you. They're like, you're going to die in 12. Okay, so is that 12-year thing that AOC said? Does that still stand? Because we're down to what, like 8 years, 7? I don't know. What are we? 9 years? We're all.
Yeah, it's definitely less. Because was it 10 or 12 years? I can't even remember now what she said.
12. She said 12.
Was it 12?
At the time that she said it, she's like, we're all going to die in 12 years. So, okay, if it's 12, then it's probably 9 or 10 now because it's been a couple years. All right, so are we still all going to die in 9 or 10 years? What do all of her friends say about that? Because the clock is ticking, sweetheart. What now? Because that doesn't seem like a lot of time.
No, it's not very much time at all.
No.
He also said, by the way, when he was visiting, the sites where the storm hit the worst, people came out to scream at him. Like there were all kinds of hecklers and people who were just like, you left people behind in Afghanistan. They were making it very, very clear that they were not happy to see him. And he had the gall to start out his speech by saying how no one had any complaints and everybody was super glad to see him.
Yeah. And then I heard that he also said something about how those people don't live in the areas where the climate is affected or something like that. Yeah, that's they're not affected by what's happening with the climate right now. And I'm just like, okay, all right. Yeah, he's a complete and utter disaster. And now I think they're starting to parade Kamala out because of Gavin Newsom.
Has she been spotted? I haven't seen.
She's stumping for Gavin, which is to me.
But was she already spotted doing it?
Yeah, I think that's the because everybody's like, where's Kamala, right? Well, Kamala is now campaigning or
Biden's going there too.
It's so cringy, but why would you want her to do that? Nobody likes her. So if you want to put the nail in his coffin, send her. So they're
sending both. Biden's going to campaign for him too. They must be legit worried about Larry Elder because you know.
They should be. They should be legit worried.
Well, and Gavin Newsom, or somebody tweeted out about Gavin Newsom. He quoted, he was like, can you see this picture? Let me see. Can you see that picture of him standing at the podium?
Yes.
So he was at some campaign event and he said, and I quote, "This is the 5th largest economy in the world. The consequences of this election are profound. If they can take California, a progressive blue state, think about the impact that will have on Nancy Pelosi's future and on the entire Biden agenda." And I retweeted it and I was like, dude, that is the whole point. That's exactly right. Yeah. And then that chick, the chick that's always the Hollywood chick that's married to the This Is Us guy, that Ryan Bathe chick that's always on us.
Yeah.
She was like, well, for once we agree on something, because she's trying to like make a funny that I said, dude, that's the whole point. She was like, yeah, it's the whole point. And so I wrote back to her this morning and I was like, what has Gavin Newsom done for California? Like, what's better in California than it was before he took over?
Right.
I mean, I know she's in her Hollywood bubble and she has no idea how it's gone to complete hell.
Yeah, but all you have to do is drive around and see what a shithole it is.
Yeah.
Just drive around. Look at LA. It's a completely different place. Look at the cities. Look at I know that other people are in charge of the cities, but if you look at the state as a whole, it is not what it used to be. Mm-hmm. It's like he has completely ruined that place. Okay, so did she answer you?
Well, she's not up yet. Because I saw her response this morning on my way in, and I responded this morning at like 5. Right. So that was like 2 a.m. her time. So I'm pretty sure she hasn't seen it yet.
But it's so interesting to me that now they're they're freaking out. It's like, welcome to the party, pal.
Right.
Now you're freaking out about it. Oh my God. And he's not only that, but he's a complete and total hypocrite.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's that guy where, listen, a lot of these governors and a lot of these leaders in general, not just governors, but other leaders too, who have zero balls, and they get up there and they preach to all of us about how, you need to wear a mask, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then they don't do it. Mm-hmm. People are like, no, up yours. You work for me. You don't get to tell me what to do and then don't do it. Yeah. I think a lot of people are fed up with that. We have, oh my God, the Fauci thing. First,
I know, and we will get to that. But before we do that, I just wanted to tell everybody why I'm a little bit heartbroken this morning. Yes. And then I want to talk about steaks really fast. And then we're going to go on to Fauci.
Yeah.
This happened.
All the speculation about me is purely manufactured. I just do my job. We work hard. Obviously, our state, has led on a lot of things, including on this now. Other states are copying us. But that's what it's really all about, just helping folks here. And I hear all this stuff, and honestly, it's nonsense. I don't really know what to say to the rumors. Yes, sir.
He was asked about 2024 and the presidential rumors, and I just want to cry because I love him.
I know. And we need to get him on the show now. Because we need to have him address how he's broken your heart.
I mean, he really does.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because I want him to run.
He needs to address that immediately. What are you doing, Governor DeSantis?
Why do you got to break my heart? I've already gone through this with Mitch Daniels. And I had to eat so many donuts. Why would you do this to me?
Right. Now I got to hear it.
So back in June, when we talked about Omaha Steaks, because it was Father's Day and they were having this Father's Day special, we got an email from Retha Chappell, who wrote, "My man has the meat sweats after opening the cooler delivered today from Omaha Steaks. And thank you, Mock. That song has run through my brain all day. I can't even remember what song we made up for Omaha Steaks at that point."
Oh my God, I don't remember. It was one of your really bad geeky songs.
What was it?
I don't know. You make up songs all the time. I don't know.
Anyway, she wrote, "Love your show. You ladies start my day off right. As a hospice nurse, I really need to start my day off giggling over the shenanigans out there in the world and Prince Harry's tiny balls. Thank you for being a conservative voice in this crazy world. Keep on being you." And listen, she's not kidding, because when you order the deluxe grill out assortment package that they have right now, you will get the sweats because there's so much included. Oh my God.
A lot of meat, you guys. A lot of meat.
30 entrees. 30 entrees is what you get. And then my favorites are the burgers, because if you get the deluxe grill out assortment order, you get 12 free steak burgers. And I love the burgers.
Yeah,
I love
so
them.
Good. They are so good.
So good.
I like their fillets, but I mean, I really love their steak burgers are yummy. And I love their apple tartlets.
Yes. And the hot dogs. They have great hot dogs too. And you get all of this, you get sides, you get desserts in the deluxe grill out assortment order. So all you have to do is, if you just go to omahasteaks.com, you use the word chicks as a keyword, like you're searching for us, right? Like in the search bar, you type in the word chicks, and then it leads you to the deluxe grill out assortment, and you can get 50% off of it right now if you go through that process. If you put chicks in the keyword search and then you look at the deluxe grill out order, you get 50% off and the 12 free steak burgers. You do not want to miss out on that deal. I know you want to grill in September because it's going to get cold, at least where I live. Not where you are so much.
Not going to get cold until like November, where I'm at.
So that's even more of an incentive.
But still, we can grill out forever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So get yourself some steak.
Meat.
All right. Please talk about Fauci and the freak out that you are currently in.
Well, I mean, he's evil. He was responsible for all this. We talked about all of this stuff with Dr. Rand Paul, Senator Rand Paul. This was probably back in, was it May? I swear it was like June.
I think it was June.
June? Okay. So back in June, we talked to him about all this stuff with his lovely wife. And now it's all coming to fruition. It's like, you guys remember when they had that spat back and forth when Rand Paul and Dr. Fauci had their spat on the floor, and Dr. Fauci was like, I think you're lying. I need a lozenge. And so they yelled back and forth at each other. Well, it turns out Fauci is the big fat liar. Surprise. Surprise. He's the big fat liar because he's lied. And then now he's the one, because it's this whole gain of function like research that he said that he didn't do because he wanted to change the definition of it, when in fact this is what liberals do. No, it's not really a definition. No, it actually is a definition. He did that. He did it, and our tax dollars went to it, and there's proof now. And I don't think there's going to be any accountability on his part. I don't think that anything's going to happen to him. But Cotton from Arkansas, Senator Cotton, he
never smiles.
Really?
Tom Cotton, I've never seen him smile, ever.
Well, he's very serious about it.
Very serious.
Very serious. Now I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be like,
I really want to see it, because I feel like if he does have higher aspirations for like if he ever wants to run for president, he's going to need to have a little more personality.
Yeah, he's going to have to come on our show and talk about like,
let's break him.
We need to, we will break you. Yeah. But he was talking last night on Laura Ingraham about how, he basically wants his head on a platter. Like, he's going after him now. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure if it's going to mean anything, because we've heard this before, you guys. I get my hopes up about this. But Fauci is the highest paid federal employee in the United States. He is we pay him we pay him more than the president of the United States. Like
over double, I think.
Yeah, it's like, well, I think we pay him almost like $600,000 a year. Is it more than that?
I think it's like his base is like 4 something.
Right, but with
all the stuff on top of that,
all the bennies that he gets and everything, he makes bank. So he's the highest paid federal employee. We are paying him a ridiculous, obscene amount of money every single year. So he doesn't want that gravy train to stop, right? And if you look back on all the questions that have been asked to him and how he's sort of deflected from this, it is really interesting if you unpack and untangle all the crap that's happened over the past year and a half.
Well, and we should mention that this all comes from The Intercept. The Intercept got through a FOIA request. They got 900 pages of previously undisclosed information from the National Institutes of Health, in which it was discovered that this grant that Rand Paul has been talking about, that he's pressed him on, of almost $600,000 to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, that was used for gain of function research, and specifically on on SARS COVID viruses and their
Right.
impact on mice that were engineered to have human responding lungs.
Uh-huh.
So it's clear that Fauci is a liar. He's a big
Right.
fat liar. And why the reason that you and I think there's not going to be consequences is because he was on all the Sunday shows yesterday and no one freaking asked him about it.
Right.
They're all like, tell us about like the Moo strain. And you know
Right.
what I mean? They're like,
Right.
it's ridiculous.
They've all idolized him. The left has completely idolized him and built him up. And they have all looked to him and they've all been like, oh my God, he's the end all be all. Meanwhile, this guy he's a complete liar. And second of all, he's been known to say that, listen, if it's okay to do this gain of function stuff, even if it causes a pandemic, that is okay to him. Whereas, good doctors don't believe that, you guys. Like, this is not okay to normal people, but to Fauci, this is okay. And this guy's running the show. Like, we put him in, we did, essentially. We put him in charge. Like, you get the government you deserve, right? But he's in charge of all of this. He is now in this position of power, and we have elevated him to the point where he's telling all of us what to do with our kids in school.
Well, and he's wagging his finger about the college football crowd.
Right.
That's what he spent his time doing yesterday. He wasn't addressing this.
He can suck it.
He can.
The guy is evil. The guy is downright freaking evil.
And then he had the nerve, I don't remember which show it was, but he had the nerve yesterday too, to get all like self-righteous about how misinformation and disinformation in the media is the worst thing that we have to tackle right now, especially when it relates to COVID. And I'm like, do you want to rewind the tape to when you said that people shouldn't wear masks? Right. And then when you later tried to say that the only reason you said that is because there was a shortage of PPE. So you admitted to lying essentially. And now you're going to like scold people who are just trying to live life like normal people outside.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Right. Who's the chick, the CDC chick? What's her name with the short hair, the dark-haired, short-haired chick?
Walensky?
Yeah. There was a video of her talking about how if you have the vaccine, then you essentially are fine. You don't have to do anything. And that was a couple months ago.
Right.
And it's like they have flip-flopped on so many things. So you talk about misinformation and disinformation and BS. They're the ones who have spewed the most. And this is why there are kids at a football game right now going, you know what? This is what I think about your information. This is what I think about you. I'm going to go and I'm going to live my life. And I was so excited to see that. I was deliriously happy to see those kids at those football games living their lives, because that is what they should be doing. Congratulations to them. I'm glad that we don't have a whole other generation of sheep. I'm glad that not all of them are that way, and they're not all sitting in their homes cowering because of the likes of Fauci, who is by and large evil. He's like twisting his mustache going, oh, they're not going to find me out. I mean, he's been found out, and I hope he suffers the consequences. Because
somebody needs to press him on this.
Right.
This is absolutely out of control. Now I know there's some Congress people like Tom Cotton and others.
Paul.
Yeah, and who will be pushing on this for sure. But I don't know how much power they have at this point, being in the minority, to do much about it. It's insane. I know.
How can you not see that he was a force in basically creating this monster?
Right.
And then he tried to cover it up. Oh my God. If you have half a brain in your head, you can see that's what happened.
But this is what this administration is famous for now, too, because, there's still a massive crisis in Afghanistan. And Joe Biden, it's basically like he's washed his hands of the entire thing. He will not address any questions about it. The State Department, it came out yesterday or maybe Saturday, that the State Department blocked chartered flights that had Americans on it from actually coming back, because the State Department was like, well, we don't know exactly who's on those flights, even though they were given the manifest twice. They were like, we don't really know. We can't vet. The friggin' southern border is wide ass open, and they're going to try to pretend that Americans can't come home on chartered flights because they didn't have their hands in it.
Right.
And so it's that kind of stuff. When these leaked emails come out about that, their response is, well, we don't comment on leaked conversations. So that's it, right? Like, that's the end of the story. They don't comment on stuff that gets leaked. And so then what's the press supposed to do? Well, they've asked the question.
Right.
They're not getting an answer. And so that's the end of the crisis.
Right.
And it
Whereas
just goes away.
Right. Whereas Trump was so unbelievably transparent, and he just like he just gave everything up. I mean, he just proactively gave that information to everybody. And this
friggin' State Department too is still trying to say, well, we're not going to recognize the Taliban as an official government until we see how they behave. Meanwhile, 4 out of the 5 Bergdahl trades are now in the government of Afghanistan. And we're still entertaining whether or not they're legitimate.
And they're also getting sex slaves. But, you know, where are all the people who are all about, you know, civil rights and had their, you know, all this stuff up in their Facebook, like profile pictures where they were all about civil rights? It's like, really, where are you now, asshats? Remember when you did that and you were all virtue signaling? Where are you? They're all suddenly so quiet about civil rights, aren't they? It's interesting how that works. You know, when women are being abused, it's very interesting.
I don't see AOC crying about it.
There's no crying from her. No crying. It's really interesting how that works.
We need some talks to wrap up this nightmare of a news cycle. All right. And I've got some good ones. First of all, here are some goats.
I see a cowboy
doing this. Hey, goats. Hi, goats. What's up, goats?
They totally talk back to him. I love it.
God, I love them.
Also, this is something that I have noticed about you, but we've never had this conversation.
Really?
You are a person who pronounces the word comfortable properly. Okay. I am not that person.
Comfortable.
You always say it exactly right. And I have never said it right. And so that is why I related to this girl so much.
How do you say this word?
Comfortable.
Because I say it comfortable.
Same.
Comfortable.
I have the biggest
pet peeve about people saying nuclear because it's not spelled like that. It's spelled nuclear. And I say it comfortable. And if I'm just ignoring the fort, then I should say it comfortable. But then it feels like I'm putting on like a weird accent. Comfortable? How do you say?
And you do it exactly right. You say it perfect.
I do. I never really noticed that. Comfortable.
I've always noticed that you say it really, really well. And I've always been like, I should say it like that, but I can't. I can't do it.
I never noticed that. That's so funny. That is so funny.
You totally do it right. Also, look at this precious dog.
You can take a small bite. Just bite the corner like this. See? Just bite it. You can take a small bite. Just bite the corner like this. See? Just bite it.
I mean, he did take a really gentle small bite. It's just that he inhaled it.
Took the whole thing. Oh my God, I love him.
Okay, the last one is a hide your kids, hide your wife situation. But you've heard the serenity prayer, right? Everybody's heard the grant me the wisdom.
Serenity, yeah. Uh-huh.
This is a little bit of a different take, if you will.
Uh-oh.
Grant me the serenity to accept the earth is filled with assholes and fuckery that I cannot change. The courage to not be a part of the assholes and the fuckery. And the wisdom to know that I'm the shit without shitting on others.
I love her.
Oh my God.
Also, one more thing. Remember how we used to talk about prune? How like if you said prune with your mouth closed, that was supposed to be like a hot photo pose.
Yeah, and like Mary-Kate Olsen and Ashley Olsen used to do that for pictures, remember?
Yeah, they would go prune.
Prune. And they get their picture taken and they look very sultry or something.
Well, there's a new one. There's a new method.
Oh, geez.
This is so great. Watch him.
So apparently when you say the word apple, the way that your mouth stops after the word is how you should pose in pictures. So I put on the filter that it like apparently when you say the word apple, the way that your mouth stops after the word is how you should pose in pictures. So I put on the filter that it likes. So apparently,
so it didn't work for him, clearly.
Oh my god, that's so what happened to be like Apple.
Apple. I'm not seeing it.
Apple.
It's
like all the girls that look like they're like, I'm so vapid. I can't.
Speaking of vapid, Kylie is pregnant again. Kylie Jenner is pregnant again.
Saw that she was pregnant.
Yeah, she's pregos.
But he's not marrying her. Listen, I'm not judging.
Like he just like she wants to and he won't, or they've just decided they don't wanna?
I don't think there's a decision there. I think that there's just no marriage.
All right.
I don't think those girls get married.
They do. They get married all the time.
What's her name? The one that is OJ's daughter,
Chloe.
She didn't get married.
Yeah, she did. Didn't she get married to what's his name?
No, they never got married.
Oh, they didn't get married?
No, and then the girl that with the leopard flats boy, what's
Courtney
her name?
and Scott. Yeah.
Yeah, they never got married.
Oh, okay. So Kim just gets married enough for everybody.
She has all the marriages.
Okay, got it.
And, right. All the failed marriages. She just has all the failed marriages. Yeah. And then everybody else doesn't get married. And so I'm not judging, but I kind of just, but this is the thing, is that all the girls out here, all the girls in watching Kardashian land, they see that and they're like, I don't need no man.
Well, they clearly do. They just don't need to marry them.
Right.
And when they do marry them, they do it wrong.
Right.
That's not a family to look at as aspirational in any way.
At all. They're not women to look at as aspirational in any way.
Yeah.
Is that
Thank you, Peter? Peter said, mock and flash dance, Daisy and the Bird and balls. Best Wednesday ever.
No pants. No pants, you guys. Gotta keep them unwrinkled. You guys bring it in. Bring it in. Oh, that was a good stretch. Guys, have an excellent day. Make it count. We will talk to you tomorrow morning.
Bye.